Read the Medikal, dear, no,
Ghanaian rapper Medikal has recounted his experience in jail following the loss of the NPP in December 7th election. In September 2021, he said the police arrested Medikal for brandishing a gun in a video posted on social media. He was later charged for unlawful display of arms and ammunition. Medikal had initially pleaded not guilty to the charge when he made his first appearance in the court, but the court refused him bail. The Omo Ada rapper was remanded into police custody for 5 days. When he reappeared before the court on October 26th, 2024, the adjudicator granted him 100,000 Ghana cedis bail. In a recent post on X, he highlighted the incident that happened to him, linking it to the present government. He said, the NPP arrested me for no tangible reason. NPP put me in cells, locked me up in jail, anchor for maximum security prison, all in the name of power. My lawyers tried to communicate with superiors, and all they got in response was it is an order from above, he writes. He therefore admonishes John Dramani Mahama of the NDC to seek the welfare of the youth when he is sworn into office. He said that let it be known to the incoming president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, that I do not trust him, but rather believe in him. Let his new change be exhibited drastically. If not for anything, he should foresee the generation of Sharaf. That is Mahama's son, right?
Yeah,
Sharaf, a good friend of mine, he said, his son, and the betterment of the youth of Ghana and beyond. Thank you, he further states. Although the results of the December 7th presidential and parliamentary election are yet to be officially announced by the Electoral Commission, that was then. In fact, they've announced it now. The flag bearer of the incumbent NPP, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, has conceded defeat to the former president, John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress. In a public address broadcast from Dr. Bawumia's residence hours after the results started trickling in, he acknowledged the victory of John Dramani Mahama, expressed his gratitude to Ghanaians for the opportunity to serve as vice president and presidential candidate. I'll end it here. Start with you, Tilly.
Most mobile position, it's not forever, that kind of thing. You don't need somebody that people have genuinely showed their love to. Ghanaians, we have shown our love, whether we voted for the against the NPP or whatever. We knew that the opposite of voting against the NPP was voting NDC into power. What you say? And we did that. And the fact say we hold the placard doesn't mean say me na man kasana so me kotoma no na man win no. I am irrelevant to the conversation. What you say? Your one vote as Sandy Kamel couldn't have brought the man back into power, no matter what you did. Your one vote it won't automatically generate like octopus hands. And
as when you what's this like? I mean, what's the point of this?
What you say? So no matter how you campaigned, one hand it will campaign. Why were you campaigning? To get people to vote. And to be a co-voter, what is your problem? And I don't know. You see, I am here when creatives, some of them talk ignorantly like this. So the fact that another creative probably did not come out to come and hold placards and go and do campaign and print t-shirts. Now, Sebe, wakoji ni sika abone nyom. Ebu wa hawa ye one of the biggest on queen. Ebu wa hawa ye say wa ya ade. Now at the end of the day, wako 40. Ama the person that probably you even want wako ye campaign man no. Wa 40 ama now. What is the problem? We still got the person we wanted, and now you still got the person you wanted. So why don't you now be happy and hope say the change you voted for, you actually get the change, because you could get the change in leadership and still be in the same mess. That is the thing you are supposed to be thinking about. But say we got 13 and I'm my own office. So we are dang. So because what? Because uko in Krasikoye, you know what? Mahama cannot affiliate with a certain medical again. Or cannot.
So you believe the shade is for Medikal?
Oh, it's saying on no car say yeah chin and yeah or no so to shade and the word molestation. No molestation there was just misplaced in the assembly. And I think that she was just molestation. So what kind of words usage of words is that? But that's
yeah. But you are pushing
Medikal because
you are pushing the two of them to the forefront, so I'm gonna collect your mushid.
Or say celebrities are I feel no master tikasa. And why won't I start tikasa after the election? Medikal and Chris Waddle, unless there's somebody else I'm in here. But these are the two that I've spoken to.
So according to Tilly is saying that Zandi's rant is for...
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Thank you.
Now moving on to Medikal. I think say as a celebrity, there's a lot of, if you're a celebrity, there's a lot of responsibilities on you to do the right thing. And the fact that you're a celebrity doesn't mean you'll be excused, because of followers that are watching you, look at how the law treats you. The law that we say nobody's above the law, no, treats you, and then now see what they can do after your case has been handled. So sometimes when you do something as a celebrity, because of your influence and the number of eyeballs that are watching, you have to go through the law to serve as a deterrent to many people and a case study, so that people don't move on in your footsteps thinking, say, oh, Medikal got away with it, so I can get away with it. There, say he has closed his mind to think that the word order from above, or the words order from above, means NPP or means political affiliation. No, it doesn't. In these premises, if I'm here and somebody comes, Wadud comes and says, Tilly, please get out of this premises, and I say, why they go? And we say order from above. It doesn't mean say Akufo-Addo Nama order. It could just means that Black DJ Black, because he's the above us. And first of all, who arrested him? Was it the NPP tax and Befano, and I say miracles and Befano Koye? It was the police in a PKO. Now you are in the police and they took you to court, and the court system check here or crimes yet again. You see a gun brandishing, and also he didn't know what he did. He didn't know into gun brandishing. Or man can't channel. Yeah. That's one more time I'm go through because you are medical, and he should ask himself what was his visible NDC affiliation, and I say rebellious against the NPP. Somebody will just wake up and because he did kind of thing. What I say?
Only association be.
Only a damn pana. You better pick now order from above is NPP. Nothing told Medikal, or nothing will make Medikal believe so. Order from above could just be say police in Pennyfold and say, you know what, let him go to the full length so that it's to serve as a deterrent. And as a court now by their own wisdom, which the law and the constitution allows them to decide whether we'll give you bail or not. Judge it was on to the bosom or in the bosom of the judge to have said, say, you know what, we will not grant you bail to go trim kakra. The above could just be the judge. It doesn't mean say because order from above into changing and NPP ni be na PP. Then we medical apart from fella case. Then he's a very cool dude that everybody
He's
likes.
under the radar.
Yeah, so I really don't know. The fact that he wants to suddenly act oblivious to his mistakes and make it look like it was just an act of witch hunt towards him is very delusional, I must say. What you are saying? Because we
quite Lulu.
The Lulu, you know why you were taken in.
Maybe
you are arraigned for court. Why the court made you go and trim. So how come all of a sudden you don't know it yourself?
No, and for Medical's case, I think we need further and better particulars for us to assess it. Maybe he has affiliation to the other side that the above people know.
No, okay, so
you get it.
No, wait. So,
you get what I'm trying to say.
No, but then what does it do? Because if really it was like that, the above people could have still kept you in there. The above people could have still kept you in there till election and said, "Can we release you after?" But you came out after you did whatever thing that was supposed to be done. The court required and whatever it happened. And see, why do you feel that, or was he expecting because he was popular? The NPP ruling government would have stepped in and said, oh, as the president of Ghana, I want to veto and say this guy is a celebrity. What was he like? What was he expecting? I'm just saying, you are a celebrity, and the fact that you are a celebrity means that the law will it holds you to higher standard as well, because they are expecting and this case was not as simple as this was a national issue, and how the court handles you will serve as a deterrent to people that, at the time I didn't even know what gun brandishing was, and I didn't even know that it was even a crime until Medikal. Now you say, oh, okay, this is it. Until now, so on. What you say? So don't automatically assume that order from above is the NPP. Order from above could have been probably the police service or be penny or and now every canipa car oh manibe and I could be a great or or a celebrity. He should have known better. It could have been anybody about America. That's why I use a typical example of this place. Order from above could just be DJ Black who calls a thing in the Casania Harry, the man who could feel
our producers have go order from above.
I had like cry. I know how, but he can just go and say, hey, till you go home. Well, rude by not want to mention the person's name because of ABR, Sebi, the ranking. You do understand yet? No person or this person says, but order from above is order from above, and it doesn't mean that it is the NPP that are just being antagonistic. With all this being said, it could also mean that it was just the NPP being antagonistic, because as you said, we don't know
the connects.
Aside the why celebrity anyway, no backstage people that they are in bed. What you say? It could be a political mafia, which is not far fetched. But I just want him to open his mind to the possibility that he went to court. What you say? You know there are people you what you say? Near the work places there and we were put in a place that obey it to your anchor for. What you are saying?
Maximum.
Yeah. I mean, when Bulldog talks and you see he talks about where they put me at the idea, that was not the same thing. Like you can see Obia a political witch hunt and kasa and Obia said what the Obia uncle no and I do a call and the fact that he want to make it look like one no is where the problem which is why I maybe Gina someone say probably it has nothing to do with the NPP because the one saying.
What also joins in the conversation? What also out to say that you arrested almost everyone that spoke against your party, making sure even journalists lost their freedom of speech. You collapsed and crippled almost every business that wasn't owned by your allies. People cried of pure hunger, yet you kept imposing higher taxes. This is a tweet from Chris Waddle. There's also another one. Let me read this one. It says, for 8 years, we were all under your military rule. Unless person no shout, Ajay, I'm hungry or hurting, then you arrest them or cripple them. Hey, we suffer. No,
so you see, Chris Waddle's thing is a summary of a system that we saw.
Okay.
Maybe I don't want to use military rule because maybe military rule, we can crown say military rule. So I don't want to use that. And I know we were not under military rule under the Akufo-Addo government. Yes, times were hard, but it was not a military rule. But all the same, no, I think the NPP was not sympathetic to the plight of Ghanaians, which is what I think he wants to capture with Asemna Wakano, because you don't impose a tax that people are saying, yo, this thing is too much. Now one who cake and chat and celebrity and shaman for the more. It means that badaye. What you say? That 11 cake or mutrayano was the biggest downfall and the mistake of the NPP. Sa 11 cake and nipo ye mono or broma se o mko music and free no. Because because this is, you see, now saying which countries it Kenya also. And I will say taxes and the youth to the street and some kesiye and then these are ways people vent out their anger. But fortunately for you, you are in a country where the youth knows that there will be a 7th January in December and they will make their change. So the least you could have done was to have respected their plight and their call, saying the 11 higher. What they were passing poor. Why do you cut a cake? Post it online. Penny for say big mona was a muti ya was na mo kebi my I don't know. They say more pass across a so cake.
Why go chop?
Like what do you want to tell the ordinary Ghanaian now? Sebe ne 100 cities or they selling a bar school, but cannot only say 100 and could do the ban because it's swati. What you say? Like how do you think that person feels about you? You were saying something that they did so well investing in their campaign. Yes, they were. The NPP, I would say, for the last 4 years have been interested in winning power over ruling the country because they were not sympathetic to us. They invested more money in election campaign. Yeah, they no more influencers. I'm out for a block cover online. I'm out for
check their slogan. It is possible. It's more like a personal, commitment to
what you say.
Campaign is not passing.
What you say. So they were interested in doing that more than actually getting people. The economy was bad, and yet you were investing your money in the whatever. At the end of the day, and you fly and about to about Some influencer now would they catch on only time a back but the general populace no that were suffering now we try cake go mutisono. So mako to it yao. It will see you invested in the wrong place. So imagine, and I'm going to say this on radio today. The MPs, any assembly women, they promised a lot of women, wage are casual women, no, and I will give you something to invest in your business, because you're quite a one. And this was small things that, and these were MPP loyalists too. And bow or more time MPP a shirt t-shirt campaign to support them. Or more yes, you can almost sanka. So if please you are listening at the top and you think that money went to the women, almost sanka. My mother is one of them. Almost sanka. I'm telling you. Hey. Sesikano, if you dispatch the money, almost sanka.
It did not trickle down.
It did not trickle down. No, musika. They called them at secret guide, and it was
public knowledge.
Yes, public. Oh, you have to support him. We hairdressers, they know. Everyone machines, everyone hair dryers.
But I saw videos of
my dear
some women taking
people that got it compared to those that were supposed to get it. Those that wrote their names. Area ho. Nipo so far I had a assemblywoman, the ban on so hairdresser, so hairdresser dryer. And now the women, yes, I'm telling you. No, hold on.
Some areas, yes,
don't spoil this. It's important. I have to do it today. I have to do all of them. They are yes, I'm telling you, me come on, Mate. So if there was money dispatched for these women, and that is one thing they were invested more on the optics than the job on the ground, because these are women as you can crowd as possible. These are women that were loyalists, which means that you were concerned about winning the election, but the job and the people, and you see. I don't want to even limit it to my mother in home for now. What's our area and it's our constituency, and you know the painful thing. My area is an MPP winning area.
Oh, okay.
What's your saying?
Did it flip?
It didn't flip. The guy, Jerry won, but NDC won over there, which means that the people were very unhappy with Akufo-Addo and the MPP cronies. No,
they were even contesting the collation.
Yeah, what you say? And you see the interesting thing. This is not just the women there. These are people to even help the MPP. Omanye champions amaya who were there no saying omusika na MPP for na omuntia na omutimo den ya ade. This story became a big story we discussed. I know here the other station. What you say? These are people like omanye chapo ko ntimi nkoda ne fee or say amount for tax any nam ne fee. But this man is crying foul say MPP 14 more thing. And this is a man weighing a name at radio so they be a casada for the MPP that so they're loyalists no. One man over the time they have always showed up to vote for you. You don't even care about them, but you care about the optics, you care about this and this and this and this and that.
Nice billboards.
At the end of the day,
fine print.
Sako Kromotina and Kawu Fi Kakra would have added to it. And it's not surprising that most of the MPP did not vote. Because of were high, they don't see themselves voting for the NDC.
Most of the MPP we did not vote.
No, most of the MPP 40 did not vote. Because of were high.
I asked her earlier on the show, said did she vote? She said yes, she voted, but she would not disclose.
And I make her say some people some people would prefer say, you know what, me, I don't want to ever vote for NDC. But I also know say about me and for 3 more days. So I will not vote at all. What I say, I won't go out. Me won't to me shame. And the margins of those who did not vote clearly shows. Typical example was in the Ashanti region. Look at the number of people that did not vote in the Ashanti region. Yeah. So can Baumia and his people say they did
small
good?
Small that you are using to have fun.
No, you get it. Can they say that they are good? They were good to the people, the actual people on the ground. And the sad thing was, MPP and their loyalists were living in a certain bubble of delusion. Are we going to play the audios of those who are saying, now we say, Mahama William, we say, now they know. And they were not lying, no. They were sure they were going to win because they were disconnected from the reality on the ground. And now losing, and the margin of the loss they considered, no, will make them sit down and now look. Were we in our own world in Ghana? And how was this really how the people felt about us? And now they should question their communicators and people that were to twin in their Zoom say, oh, that we have it. They should come not next time.
Comfortable lead.
Not next time, but because they were the bunch of liars that make sure that they were never disconnected to this. They were never connected to the reality on the ground.
But you know, there's money to be made if I'm able to disconnect the top guy from the reality on the ground. So I become the person who is doing the narrating the story to the top guy.
There's
money to be made.
Yeah, about that, the top guy is not there again. So the money too has.
But at the end of the day, the money will go finish. Whether they go in for 8 years, 16 years, or 20 years, the money still will go finish at a point.
But the debt of the country, there will be difference. Or call 8 years, $200 million debt, but of course 16 years. We on 1 children.
Adam, your take on this one?
Medicals.
Yeah,
the whole election.
Yeah, real quick.
I think it's one of those things. I don't think that order from the order from above is to mean a superior. So it could be the superiors in the service. And what he did, does it find a place in the law which makes it an offense? Because if certainly he was, there is no way you can jail somebody or you can sentence somebody without the charge falling in line with, the offenses. Because in our Criminal Offences Act, we have defined every offense and prescribed a certain punishment for it. So certainly that offense of brandishing is in the Criminal Offences Act of the country, and it really was in tandem with what the law says. And I'm sure it is why most of the times what can take you away from the punishment is the nature of your defense and the evidence available. So I was shocked I saw that, but like the vice president said, you and I were not there. We do not know the extent to which, this is connected, because there are instances where others would brandish and nobody will mind them. But but
you pay.
That thing to go day. That is where maybe you'll be thinking that, hey, is it coming from somebody behind and other things, and it plays out. So it's unfortunate that it happened that way, but we also need to take a cue from some of the actions that we because not any Bibia Ghana or Ghana, we have a lot of law. So when we are doing something, we should be very circumspect about what we do vis-a-vis what the law says. So
okay.
the
Abanaba.
How big a gap we are going to give our opponents? I want a big gap. How big a gap we are going to give our opponents? I want a big gap. I want a big gap. I want all of you to come out. I want a big gap. How big a gap we are going to give our opponents? I want a big gap. I want a big gap.